Hello, I'm Dan Coates, and I have the honor of representing the people of Indiana in the United States Senate. 235 years ago, this July 4th, our founding fathers risked their lives and signed a document announcing the birth of America. Their brave declaration of freedom changed the course of history and revolutionized the world. Our founding fathers severed the chains of tyranny to provide a land of opportunity for future generations. They left it to their children and grandchildren to protect this gift. This generational responsibility is the story of America. Today, we must ask ourselves, will we continue this tradition? Will we leave behind a more prosperous country for our children? When I retired from the Senate 12 years ago, I felt confident that my children and grandchildren would have the opportunity to pursue the American dream: a quality education, home ownership, and a good-paying job to support a family. But over the past few years, I saw that dream become ever tougher for Americans to reach. I returned to the Senate for one reason. I refused to stand on the sidelines. I refused to be part of the first generation to leave behind a country in worse shape than the one we inherited. The American people understand the urgency of our fiscal crisis. They want their elected officials to stop spending money we don't have, and to enact policies that will grow our economy and get Americans back to work. Unfortunately, the President's economic plan of spending and borrowing has failed. Over the past 2 years, debt has skyrocketed 35% to our nation's limit of $14.3 trillion. The annual deficit is now 3 times greater than the highest deficit of the previous administration. And today, nearly 14 million Americans are without work. If these numbers aren't alarming enough, then the President should consider the numerous warnings from the financial markets, both here and abroad. The eyes of the world are fixed on the U.S. to see if we have the political courage and moral sense to solve our debt crisis. The President and Democrats in Congress must recognize that their game plan is not working. It's time to acknowledge that more government and higher taxes is not the answer to our problem. It's time for bold action and a new plan to address our current crisis. For inspiration, they should look outside Washington, and there's no better playbook for getting us on the right track than the one used in Indiana. The Hoosier way is quite simple. We work hard, and we live within our means. In Indiana, we understand that you cannot spend more money than you take in. And when our state fell off course, a leader stepped up with solutions to steer it straight, and the people of Indiana responded. Governor Mitch Daniels, like the President, inherited a weak economy. In 2005, Indiana faced a $200 million deficit and had failed to balance the budget for 7 years. And while other states increased spending and raised taxes, Indiana reduced spending, cut taxes, and paid down its debts. Thanks to our governor's leadership and the resolve of Hoosiers, our state is now the most attractive place to do business in the Midwest. The spend less, borrow less, and tax less model in Indiana has resulted in balanced budgets, job creation, and a AAA credit rating. In contrast, the spend more, borrow more, and tax more approach of the President has resulted in fewer jobs, higher debt, and a threatened downgrade from credit agencies. The Hoosier model is a necessary first step to repairing our country's finances. And this week, every Senate Republican took that step by committing to a balanced budget amendment to the U.S. Constitution. The Speaker of the House has committed to bringing the balanced budget amendment to a vote later this month. And Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell has committed to fighting for a vote in the Senate as well. Broke or balanced? That's the choice before us. Now, some doubt our ability to overcome this fiscal crisis. But the problem we face is not insurmountable. We have overcome major challenges in the past. Times of trial have always produced moments of great leadership that rally the American people. Now is the time for decisive leadership from this President. It's time to cast aside the false safety of political denial and re-election hopes and put the future of our country above all else. On July 4th, 1776, our founding fathers put their honor and lives on the line to break from oppression and create a republic that valued individual rights, freedom, and liberty. It is not only our duty, but our moral obligation to break from the oppression of debt and strengthen our country. We must all rise above the political considerations and do what is right for the future of our nation. Thank you, and may God continue to bless America as we celebrate our independence.